Well, expenses are going up, rapidly outpacing revenues to keep the city fiscally stable, providing the services that residents expect. It was necessary to propose a tax increase, and that's what we did. So the way the tax cap works is there is a carryover from one year to the next. So if you don't utilize your full taxing authority under the 2% in one year, you can take the remainder in the second year without going to the legislative body requesting a vote. So we were able to use this year's 2% along with the percentage that we did not utilize last year.
You mentioned making investments into streets, sidewalks, parks. I'm wondering, will disabled stakeholders be involved in these improvements, particularly in areas where infrastructure is more easy accessible?
Will we invest in areas where infrastructure is in bad shape?
I'm wondering if you will have disabled community members to be part of making sure that those new features are accessible.
Will we have disabled community members look at the plan for investment? Yes, we will. In fact, shortly our new coordinator for the Office for the Disabled will be beginning her job in city government, and we will involve her in the process of reaching out to the community. That will be affected by the program to assist people who are back in bills to the city. It will be thousands. We calculate that it could be approaching 4,000 individuals and families.
How do people sign up for that program? Who qualifies?
They will be low-income residents. We will use federal guidelines to define what low income is. They will be City of Buffalo homeowners, property owners, and we will try to make the process as easy, as simple as possible. So we're going to try to cut red tape, cut bureaucracy. We don't want to create a barrier or an impediment for people to be able to take advantage of these funds. Pardon me?
Would trash user fees also be lumped in, or is it just water, sewer, and tax?
Yeah, the user fee will be part of that program to help people pay back bills.
For the fire department, it's 11 pieces of equipment, the ladder truck, the pumper truck. Can you talk about the other pieces of equipment and why that's so important to the city?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Kelly.
What are the other pieces of fire equipment that are being purchased?
We are reviewing internally the most necessary pieces of equipment. So it could be a range of equipment. We want to make sure that we're purchasing vehicles that will be more maneuverable in snow emergency, heavy snow conditions. So the fire commissioner and his staff are looking at that.
Would the apparatus that removes stranded vehicles be included in that 11?
No, that's included. It's not in the 11. That will actually be in the Department of Parking, the Rook vehicle that can remove stranded vehicles. And we saw with the historic November storm, the once-in-a-generation blizzard, there were many stranded vehicles, and that did hamper snow plowing and snow removal operations. Now we will have our own vehicle to safely move stranded vehicles and not be slowed down in the process of plowing our streets.
Commissioner Murphy, can you expand on
Yep.
the vehicle room?
Yeah, certainly the Rook. It was a piece of equipment that, as we saw, was brought in from the state during the blizzard. And so that equipment It's a little bit more specialized. It's a lift. It's a forklift for a vehicle from the side. So the ease and the quickness with you can move a vehicle is really important part of it. You're able to turn a tow, a mini tow, just you pick and lift and move it out of the way. So clearing those streets from an emergency standpoint is very critical as quickly as we can. So that vehicle gives us great flexibility, great maneuverability, and a quick move on anything that might be blocking our streets. So it's a wintertime vehicle, but it's got use throughout the rest of the year if needed as well. So. Yeah, so the 24 pieces of equipment that are mentioned are really a combination of high lifts and snowplows. That's the piece of equipment that we need for snow fighting. High lifts, as you've seen from the major storms we received, are what needs to pick and lift that snow. So we're not anticipating snowfalls in the future being nice ones that you can push easily. So we're going to need high lifts. We have an older fleet, so this will supplement our fleet and then replace some of the older ones as well. And then snow plows, get more plows on the streets to clear the streets. It's about providing the service to our community as best we can, so clearing and then removing as well.
Talk about the generators and building repairs.
Sure. Yes, so we have a already earmarked from the 2023 capital budget. There's funds available right now, and we already awarded the contracts for an aerial platform, a new engine, and also 8 generators, which will bring all of our firehouses up 100% up to speed as far as emergency generators go. Also in that budget, in the 2023 capital budget, is included a mini-tracked ambulance. It's called a rapid response vehicle. That contract has also been awarded. And we've also earmarked $175,000 for utility track vehicles. You may remember seeing those in the over the November, December blizzard. So after action review, taking a look at those utility vehicles and what they did for us during the blizzards or during those emergencies. During our after action review, we decided we're going to purchase 4 of those vehicles as well. And we'll have all those probably by the end of August, early September. And actually, all those vehicles will be in our possession by early fall.
Do you think that will fully address the concerns that you brought up after the storms?
Well, it's an ongoing process, but the utility vehicles for sure will address some of our needs. As far as our larger apparatus goes, you'll see one of our newest aerial ladders out in the square right now, ladder 15, which we just took delivery of a little over a month ago, probably about 6 weeks ago. And once again, we've awarded contracts for an aerial platform and an engine. We're fortunate to get them in mid-production, so we're going to have them actually in our hands, delivery date in early October.
Commissioner, just to clarify, a lot of these purchases that you talked about were on the table before the blizzard, is that correct?
Oh, yes. Aside from the utility vehicles that I described, all these other vehicles are already in the planning process. They're part of the 2023 capital budget.
Tara, did you have something? Mayor?
Okay, Commissioner. Yeah. Thanks. Also, back on fire, one of the new fire pieces of equipment, not from this allocation that we announced, but from last year's allocation, just came in, and that vehicle is parked in Niagara Square if you want to take a look at that. Yes, Tara.
You had a historic write-in campaign where voters clearly trusted you, and I'm going back to Eileen's question here, but your opponent was proposing 3%. Last year was 4.5%, I believe. This year 3.8%. So, I mean, can you walk us through? Voters might be confused and go, "Well, I thought that this wasn't really going to happen."
So I will say to all of you that we're beyond a write-in campaign. We're beyond campaigning. As mayor of the city of Buffalo, I'm chief executive of the city, and I make the decisions and proposals that I think are necessary to properly manage and operate the city.
Do you think you'll have a chance to get the sales tax redistributed, or how do you think that's going to go?
I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. You know, after the horrible death of George Floyd, after the tragic mass shooting on 5/14, people talked a lot about equity, but when they talk about equity, when they think about equity, they seem to only think about the city of Buffalo. They don't think about the county, the state, the federal government. They don't think about the private sector. So this is a conversation for all of those that want to talk about equity and are so concerned about equity to really have that conversation and look at the impact of funding decisions that are made at a lot of different levels. So I hope that we can get a greater share of the county sales tax, but there are a lot of other examples of inequity that people never talk about that we need to talk about.
In your presentation, you also talked a little bit about the 514 remembrance events, and I also noticed that you had a sign language interpreter and picture-in-picture interpretation. I'm wondering if deaf residents can expect to have a sign language interpreter at 514 remembrance events?
Yes, at all of the 514 remembrance events, which start on May 12th and go through May 14th, there will be sign language interpreters. You're welcome.
Challenge to change, what does that mean for the residents at home?
What it means is we've gone through a lot of challenges. We've outlined some of the things that our community has gone through. There are changes that we need to make to strengthen the community. From listening to the community, we know that people were struggling with bills. This plan responds to that. We know that people are concerned about lead poisoning of children. This plan responds to that. We know that in Buffalo, there's a larger number of people who are unemployed, underemployed, and this plan speaks to training, to upskill people, to help those that are unemployed get good, solid paying jobs, and those that are in jobs to get higher wages in those jobs. So this plan is about the future growth and the changes that are needed to strengthen Buffalo. And if Buffalo is stronger, being the seat of the region, the entire region will be stronger.
One more, are we good? Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Sure, we'll do an off-topic. We can do an off-topic. You guys can. Mayor, they have, I think, one or two off-topics. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you very much. Okay.
Mayor, I'll start. Actually, Brendan, too. Would either of you like to make a comment on Nona Watson's civil suit allegations about steering program?
Well, Ms. Watson's civil case was voluntarily dismissed. You know, that says all you need to know about that issue.
The 12.6% potential raise that's being considered, that would give you a $20,000 raise just about. Do you think that that's appropriate to go through?
I'm concerned about raises. I haven't requested a raise. This was something that was advanced by the city council and members of the city council. I think the timing is concerning, and the work that went into producing those recommendations for city elected official salaries, I had absolutely no involvement in that whatsoever, other than to allow the council to move forward in their request to put raises on the table.
Anything else?
Yes. City of Buffalo residents have been noticing these billboards going up that say City Hall is failing us all. I was wondering if you wanted to respond to that, or if you have any plans to meet with the organizers of that billboard?
Well, I will say that's an extremist political organization. Those aren't your everyday city residents. Those are extremist political organizers that are organizing a political campaign, and I absolutely have no concern with the billboards that they're putting up.